Can we bear the burden of being bestowed everything we prayed for? Are we capable of understanding the magnitude of responsibility we paradoxically must create that comes with the autonomy that we deeply yearn for? Or do we just say we want everything the world has to offer, but not fortify ourselves to be people worthy of it? Because deep down, we know we're not cut out to make the necessary sacrifice. After 3 to 5 years, 60 to 70% of lottery winners end up in serious financial trouble: bankruptcy, major debt, loss of most of their winnings. Empirically, young people who get lucky by gambling, especially in financial markets, develop issues with substance abuse, loss of direction, and develop values that are a disservice to their future selves. Family windfalls through inheritance can and do bring sides of people that lead to the betrayal of blood. Now, what's not to misconstrue is that wealth and abundance are a negative. Rather, why does human psychology delude its own self by wanting something that it's not yet prepared to handle, let alone if it actually wants? The act of charity or the practice of giving a portion of your wealth is practiced in many religions and doctrines precisely for this dilemma. On top of helping the less fortunate, this act of giving teaches ourselves, if we can't teach ourselves, to part with what we desire most and unknowingly not be ready to handle. In Christianity, the concept of tithing, where you tithe 10% of your yearly income, has an emphasis towards helping the poor, stewardship, and generosity. In Islam, obligatory charity is termed zakat, where you're obligated to give 2.5% of your wealth annually. The purpose of this is to not only reduce inequality, but to purify your wealth. Same thing with Hinduism and Buddhism, where although there isn't a fixed percentage, generosity termed dana can be in the form of food, money, service, with the intention of reducing attachment and cultivating compassion, a core path to enlightenment. Hubris, pride, and even arrogance are synergistic forces within all of us that, although can leave us destitute, are a major accelerant when our work capacity, stress tolerance, and strategic thinking are working in tandem. These inevitable forces of pride, ego, arrogance, hubris, ironically, should be a reflective light on our understanding of the industriousness we need to develop to justify embodying these traits. Before Michael Jordan became Michael Jordan, he believed to be Michael Jordan, but understood the decades of jump shots and dribbling drills he had to practice to be worthy of such highness. So, how does the average person who may not possess Michael Jordan like giftedness cope with not being a Michael Jordan? They realize, whether it's months or decades of their hubris at pursuing an ideal that was not only not suited for them, but at the expense of what their true talents and capabilities were. You see, we can't all be 6'6" and have 40-inch verticals. And correct me if I'm wrong, but what we can be is the physical, intellectual, and unique capabilities that are innate to us. Relativity. I use sports, especially basketball, as an example, as it's probably the most physically evident and variant sport in the world. Like, if you're not relatively tall for a basketball player, you'll simply not last. And forget about it if you're not relatively tall as a human in general. Now, outside of the world of sports, relativity is all around us. A huge factor for parents telling kids and kids telling kids to become someone they were told to become and not someone they should have become, leading lives that will always be in relative to someone else and not relative to themselves. Where does this relativity begin as part of our consciousness? It can be from a multitude of sources, but it's usually filtered through disingenuity, misguidance, or both. Some examples are disingenuous media outlets funded by think tanks and lobbyists telling us to pursue ideals that we shouldn't really be pursuing. Misguided doctors, for example, pushing a relative ideal on you through practices that would actually be of detriment to your health. Disingenuous religious leaders pushing swaths of their followers towards a relative ideal that's incongruent with their creed. The list can go on and on. The point is the importance of asking ourselves, do I really want that? Or do I want it because I was told to want it? If I really want that, have I fortified myself into a person that's worthy of having it? Heavy is the crown, but heavier still is the man who wears it without becoming worthy of it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and like and subscribe for more of this type of content. And like always, thanks for listening.